Has someone you love started showing subtle but concerning changes over the past year? Many people believe that death in old age comes suddenly, but the truth is, the body often gives quiet, gentle warnings, sometimes months, even a year, before life reaches its final chapter. The problem is, these signs are often missed. They're small at first, so easy to overlook. It's only later when families look back that they realize the clues were there all along. By then, it's often too late to prepare or to make those final memories truly count. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 important signs that often appear about a year before an elderly person passes away. Some of them may be things you've already noticed, but brushed off as just aging. Others may seem minor, but actually point to the body gradually slowing down. Recognizing these changes early gives you the gift of time. Time to offer better care, to share meaningful moments, and to help ensure that your loved one's final season is filled with peace, dignity, and comfort. Please stay with us until the end, because understanding these signs can help you prepare both emotionally and practically for what's ahead. When you know what's happening, you won't be caught off guard. You'll be able to make the most of the time you have left with those who matter most. Now let's begin. 1. Significant weight loss. One of the earliest and most noticeable signs that a person may be approaching the final year of life is unintentional weight loss. It might seem small at first. A belt that suddenly fits looser, clothes that don't hug the body like they used to, or a hearty appetite that slowly fades away. Families often chalk it up to just getting older. But losing weight without trying is rarely a good sign. It may mean the body is no longer absorbing nutrients properly. Muscle mass could be declining, and essential systems may be slowing down. While it's true that aging naturally leads to some loss of muscle, when it happens quickly or noticeably, it's a sign of something deeper. Sometimes the digestive system struggles to break down food. In other cases, the body may not process proteins well, which leads to muscle wasting. This loss of strength doesn't just make movement harder, it increases the risk of falling, weakens the immune system, and leaves the body more vulnerable to illness. Changes in appetite also play a role. Many elderly people simply don't feel hungry the way they used to. Their sense of taste can fade, food loses its appeal, and they might begin skipping meals or eating only small portions. This isn't just a preference, it's a real physiological shift. The body, knowing it's slowing down, stops urging the brain to seek food. And of course, chronic conditions like cancer, heart failure, kidney disease, or even depression and memory loss can all quietly cause a person to eat less. Families often respond by offering favorite foods or supplementing meals with protein drinks. While these efforts are made with love, if the weight still drops, it may mean the body is beginning its final transition. Instead of focusing on big meals, shift your energy to comfort. Choose soft, easy-to-eat foods and keep your loved one hydrated. These small steps can make a big difference in how they feel. If your loved one is losing weight, eating less, or becoming weaker, it's time to pause and pay attention. This isn't about appearance. It's about the body sending a quiet message. And hearing that message now can help you walk this path with clarity, compassion, and care. 2. Extreme fatigue and weakness. Another sign that often appears in the final year of life is a deep, ongoing fatigue, one that rest doesn't seem to fix. This isn't just feeling tired after a busy day. It's a bone-deep exhaustion that makes even simple things feel too hard. Getting out of bed takes effort. Walking across the room becomes tiring. Tasks like cooking, dressing, or even chatting feel overwhelming. This is the body beginning to conserve its energy. As organ function slows, the body focuses on the essentials. The heart may not pump as strongly. Circulation may slow. Muscles don't get the oxygen they once did. The result? Weakness, unsteadiness, and a noticeable drop in daily activity. There's also a change in metabolism. The body shifts from producing energy to preserving it. That's why your loved one may sleep more, take longer naps, or struggle to stay awake during the day. Some people have sudden dips in energy. They may seem alert one moment, then completely drained the next. The emotional impact can be hard to witness. Many seniors who once loved their independence may feel frustrated or embarrassed. They might stop talking as much, avoid socializing, or give up hobbies. Not because they've lost interest, but because they no longer have the energy. This often leads to isolation, and isolation can speed up the decline. As a family member, it's painful to see someone you love fade from their former self. It may be tempting to encourage them to just get up or try harder. But the reality is, pushing won't help. Instead, recognize their limits. Allow them to rest. Offer gentle companionship. And above all, focus on making their days as peaceful as possible. If your loved one is experiencing fatigue that doesn't go away with sleep, it may be their body preparing for a major transition. This is the time to treasure every conversation, create calm spaces, and support them without pressure. Because in the end, what matters most isn't how much they can do, but how deeply they feel loved, seen, and cared for. If you're still with us and finding this helpful, please type number 2 in the comments to let us know you're here. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Your support helps us continue creating videos that support you. Now let's move on. 3. Increased confusion or withdrawal. As a person nears the final stage of life, changes in thinking and behavior become more noticeable. Someone who was once sharp and talkative may begin to forget things. They may lose track of time, struggle to follow conversations, or seem confused in familiar places. These changes can appear even if they never had memory issues before. It's not just forgetfulness. It's often a sign the brain is receiving less oxygen and fewer nutrients as circulation slows down. This can lead to confusion, poor judgment, or difficulty recognizing people, even close family. Sometimes you may see clear moments followed by periods of confusion, almost like their mind is flickering. Emotional withdrawal is another sign. They may talk less, avoid eye contact, or spend long stretches in silence. This isn't because they've stopped caring. It's because their mind and heart process things differently now. Even loud environments or bright lights may feel too much. They may prefer the quiet and slowly retreat into their own world. Mood changes can happen too. Some may become more irritable or anxious. Others may seem very calm or disconnected. These aren't personality changes. They're part of how the brain responds to decline. For family members, this can feel like an early goodbye. You might feel helpless, trying to bring them back into the moment. But instead of trying to fix what's happening, try simply being with them. Speak gently. Offer reassurance. Let them know they're safe, even if they don't always respond. If you notice growing forgetfulness, confusion, or withdrawal, don't ignore it. These are signs of the final transition. Be patient. Share quiet time, and focus on creating a space that feels warm, familiar, and peaceful. Even when words disappear, love, comfort, and connection can still be felt. 3. Increased confusion or withdrawal. As a person nears the final stage of life, changes in thinking and behavior become more noticeable. Someone who was once sharp and talkative may begin to forget things. They may lose track of time, struggle to follow conversations, or seem confused in familiar places. These changes can appear even if they never had memory issues before. It's not just forgetfulness. It's often a sign the brain is receiving less oxygen and fewer nutrients as circulation slows down. This can lead to confusion, poor judgment, or difficulty recognizing people, even close family. Sometimes you may see clear moments followed by periods of confusion, almost like their mind is flickering. Emotional withdrawal is another sign. They may talk less, avoid eye contact, or spend long stretches in silence. This isn't because they've stopped caring. It's because their mind and heart process things differently now. Even loud environments or bright lights may feel too much. They may prefer the quiet and slowly retreat into their own world. Mood changes can happen too. Some may become more irritable or anxious. Others may seem very calm or disconnected. These aren't personality changes. They're part of how the brain responds to decline. For family members, this can feel like an early goodbye. You might feel helpless, trying to bring them back into the moment. But instead of trying to fix what's happening, try simply being with them. Speak gently. Offer reassurance. Let them know they're safe, even if they don't always respond. If you notice growing forgetfulness, confusion, or withdrawal, don't ignore it. These are signs of the final transition. Be patient, share quiet time, and focus on creating a space that feels warm, familiar, and peaceful. Even when words disappear, love, comfort, and connection can still be felt. Frequent infections and slow healing. As the body begins to wind down, one of the clearer physical signs is a weakened immune system. You may notice that someone who rarely got sick now seems to catch every little thing: a cold, a flu, a skin rash, or a urinary tract infection. What once would have been minor illnesses now linger, taking longer to heal or needing stronger treatments. Even simple things like small cuts or bruises might take weeks to heal or keep reopening. This isn't just a skin issue, it's the body showing that its ability to repair and defend itself is weakening. One of the most common concerns in the final year of life is repeated infections. Pneumonia, UTIs, skin sores, and even gum infections begin to show up more often. Families sometimes treat these as isolated problems, but when they keep happening, it's often a signal that the body is losing its strength to fight back. Sometimes antibiotics stop working the way they used to. Recovery takes longer. There may be more trips to the doctor or even to the hospital. Each illness chips away at strength that is harder and harder to regain. There's also the issue of chronic wounds. If you notice that a sore isn't healing or that the skin seems fragile and breaks easily, it's often due to reduced blood flow. The body is prioritizing blood and oxygen for the vital organs, leaving less for the skin and tissues. Pressure sores, especially for someone who isn't very mobile, can become serious quickly. These sores can become infected and extremely painful, requiring careful, consistent care. And here's something many people don't know. In elderly people, infections don't always show up the way they do in younger folks. Instead of a high fever, they might just seem more tired, more confused, or less interested in eating. In fact, a sudden drop in mental clarity is often the first sign of an infection. That's why paying attention matters. For families, this stage can be deeply emotional. It's natural to want to fight for them. Another round of antibiotics, another treatment. But at some point, the focus may shift from fighting to comforting. Simple care matters now, helping them stay clean, encouraging hydration, gently moisturizing the skin, and reducing stress. Sometimes, a cool washcloth on the forehead or a quiet, soothing voice brings more relief than another pill. If you're still watching and these insights are helping, please comment number 4 to let me know you're here. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Let's continue. 5 major changes in breathing or circulation. In the final stages of life, the body often begins to change the way it breathes and circulates blood. These signs can be quiet, but they speak volumes. You may notice that your loved one starts breathing more slowly or irregularly. Sometimes, there may be long pauses between breaths. Other times, their breathing may speed up suddenly, then slow down again. One pattern that often appears is called Cheney-Stokes respiration. It's a rhythmic pattern where breathing gets faster, then slower, followed by a pause. It may seem alarming, but it's a natural part of the body slowing down. Changes in circulation are also noticeable. Hands, feet, ears, or even the nose may feel cold to the touch. The skin might look pale, bluish, or mottled, especially around the fingers and toes. These are signs that the heart is no longer pumping blood as strongly. The body begins to protect the vital organs by reducing blood flow to the outer parts. You may also notice that they become more short of breath. Just sitting up or turning in bed may make them feel winded. They may start breathing through their mouth more often, or need to rest after just a few words of conversation. Even coughing, gurgling, or a feeling of tightness in the chest can occur, sometimes from fluid buildup in the lungs. Families often think it's just a cold or congestion, but when these signs appear together, it's often a signal that the lungs and heart are growing weaker. Lying flat might become uncomfortable. Many people feel better propped up with pillows or resting in a recliner. It's normal to feel concerned or unsure of what to do. You may want to encourage deep breaths or wonder if something urgent is happening. But these breathing and circulation changes are often just part of the body's natural transition. While you may not be able to stop them, you can make your loved one more comfortable. A cool, quiet room, a gentle humidifier, sips of water, a reassuring touch. These things can offer more comfort than you might realize. In some cases, doctors may suggest medications or oxygen therapy to ease discomfort, not to fix the problem, but to help them feel more at peace. If you're seeing these signs, especially breathing changes, cold limbs, or bluish skin, understand that the body is conserving energy. It's slowing down gently. This is a time to stay close. Speak softly. Offer comfort. Create a calm space where they feel safe and not alone. Final thoughts. As we close this video, take a deep breath. You've just learned about 5 key signs that often appear in the year leading up to a person's passing. 1. Significant weight loss. 2. Extreme fatigue. 3. Cognitive confusion or withdrawal. 4. Frequent infections and slow healing. 5. Changes in breathing or circulation. These signs don't always happen all at once. Sometimes they show up slowly, over months. But if you start to notice them, it's time to begin preparing. Not in fear, but in love. For many families, accepting these signs can be hard. It's natural to want to help a loved one eat more, move more, or try harder. But sometimes, the kindest thing we can do is to stop trying to reverse the process and start listening to what the body is saying. Focus on comfort. Focus on dignity. Focus on creating moments that matter. Because when you understand what's happening, you can prepare emotionally. You can make decisions early. And you can make sure that your loved one's final weeks or months are filled with gentleness and love. This is a sacred time. A time to slow down. A time to say what needs to be said. A time to sit quietly, hand in hand, knowing that you're walking this journey with grace. If you're seeing these signs in someone you love, you are not alone. So many families have walked this path. And while it's never easy, knowing what to expect helps bring peace. Thank you for spending this time with us. If something you heard today touched your heart, please share it in the comments. Let us know what stood out to you and how you plan to use it in your own life. Your words mean so much to us. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it. Your support allows us to continue making content that informs and comforts. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself and those you love.